Hey, Kunai Chrome Wave here. I just wanted to get on here and talk about some of my music because I'm very passionate about my music. I love my music. I've even been pushing myself to put out content and show up for this, like my YouTube, my TikToks, just all that. And just like really push myself, give myself that discipline to just prove how much I really care. And I think that's important. I think it's important to show up. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about how I'm taking my older music and I'm turning it into the music I play today. You know, in the beginning, I didn't necessarily have a sound. I tried a bunch of different things. I tried rock music, I tried R&B, I tried rapping, I tried dance music like house, EDM, drum and bass, like just all these different subgenres and genres of music that I wanted to make. There was music that I really loved that I didn't try to make because I'm like if I keep trying every single genre, I'm not really going to like have a significant like foundation, or it's going to take longer to build a foundation if I just keep trying a bunch of stuff and then never necessarily landing anywhere with it. But to my surprise, I kind of did just that. And then like years later, like from my late teens to my early 20s, now I'm like finally finding this footing, and it's like it's good cuz I get to take my old records and then I get to make new records with my old stuff, or I get to even like when a record was good, I get to be like, "Oh, wait a minute. That was missing some heavy bass, or that was missing a synth line, or this needed to be slowed down, or this needed to be sung faster." And I get to recreate those songs in a lane that I want to do. Like I get to take my old records and let's say it was like a rap song or like a acoustic song or something. I get to take those and then I get to turn them into dance music, or I get to turn them into rap music, or I get to turn them into like rock music. And it feels good. It feels good to be able to have this abstract foundation and actually make something of it. Like when people usually think like foundation, they think of like this hard, rooted to the ground, concrete thing. But a foundation is just like, what's a word for this? A foundation is like just being understood, like having an understanding, which a concrete understanding, a rooted understanding, which I guess does make it like that. Because that's what a foundation is. But people look at foundation as if it's only that. And my foundation, I feel like, isn't so concrete, but you know it when you see it. It's not visible, but you know it when you see it. When you zoom out from the forest, you get to see when you zoom out from the tree, you get to see the forest. You get to see the whole thing. You get to see all the trees. I said it backwards, but I caught myself. I pretty much I'm like making all these genres. But the sound is so consistent. It's like I'm making all of these different sounds, but they all sound like I made them. You know what I mean? Like it felt like I was making them. And people would tell me that. Like people would always wonder what my next project was gonna sound like, because I've never released a single before as Kunai Chrome. Like I've never released a single, so I've always done projects. It's always been EPs and albums, always. I don't have any singles, unless like it's somebody else's stuff that I featured on. That's different. But as for my solo stuff, never had a single. So like people would always wonder like, what's the next project gonna sound like? Like we need another one. Like what's it gonna be like? And it always allowed me to like stay fresh and like keep people on their toes. So I would have all these different sounds and whatnot and all these different projects, but they would all sound like me. So there was some consistency in it. There was some, establishment in there. Foundation is like an establishment. So it may have been abstract, but it was still like very established. It was still very hard holding. So I my future self, which is my current self, me now, I've been taking this foundation that I built for myself over these years, and I've been making new music over this foundation. Right now, not all of my stuff is out that I've been making like that. But even that stuff, I've been able to go back in since like I still have like all my files and like all my stuff from my DAW and like I still got all of those things. What I've done is I've gone back in and I've used my newfound ear, and I've been able to like tweak things, and I've been able to rearrange arrangements so that they make more sense to what I wanted to show, to what I wanted to portray, you know? And because I've been able to do that, I've just been able to make so much better music. So even this older music that's about to come out is gonna feel like newer music, and it's gonna feel like I just did it like 2 weeks ago. And that's so exciting to me because it's like I didn't think that I'd be able to push myself, because like as an artist, I mainly used to think of myself as a vocalist, as like just a singer, just a rapper, and like the production felt almost secondary. So I really just gave myself that freedom to just keep trying and trying and trying and just keep messing up and doing whatever. Cause I really thought in my head, like, as long as the vocals are good, the beat is like secondary. But truly, what needs to be happening is both things have to complement each other. Both things have to complement each other. They shouldn't clash unless you need them to clash, unless that's the intention. Unless one thing is the intention, like if your vocals need to be supported, or if the beat needs to be supported, or whatever needs to be like working together, whatever your intention is, that's what you should be doing. Doesn't really matter what other people think about what you're doing. It just matters what you tried to do. And if you got close enough or not, you know? So basically I I went back in, I made a bunch of tweaks. I just been working on, even like away from recording new stuff, I've just been working on a bunch of my old stuff, or like reworking my old stuff into my new stuff. And I didn't even like want to, like, it's not, for me it's not like oh, I fucked up so I'm gonna remake it. For me it's like what I was saying earlier, I built this foundation. I have this whole library of kunai chrome work and works that I can grab from at any moment to make into this masterpiece, to show you what it was all for. It's like these roots are starting to produce fruit, and that's what's so gratifying about this, because in my late teens and my early 20s, I was trying my hardest to make this music, and even though like I was ahead of what I was making, like I still put out the stuff that I had made. Not all of it. There's still, I want to say at least, there are thousands, if not just close to 1,000, of songs that I never released. Songs I've deleted. They're not on a hard drive. They're not in cyberspace. They are in the ether of something, you know? Like they're gone. They are gone. Songs no one will ever hear. I have so many songs I've created, because like back then I was creating at least 4 to 6 songs a day, and that was like my early 20s. Like that was back then, you know? So, and like late teens. That was all the way back then. Shit, no one's ever gonna hear. And I look at it like it was practice. But I still put out certain songs just because I believe that people should hear these. Like, maybe this might resonate with somebody, or maybe this might, be useful for the future. And I was right. It was. I took that on and I took that risk of being in public and putting myself out there and practicing in public. I took that risk and it's paying off. It's paying off right now because of what I did back then. And that feels so, so good. It feels so good. Even the stuff that people don't fucking agree with, that stuff I've used later on and people fucking agree with it. People loved it. You know what I mean? And there's no better feeling of working and then finally getting what the fuck you wanted out of what you were trying to do this whole time. I knew that when I was making what I was making, I always knew that some point in the future, which is why I saved a lot of my shit. Like a lot of my stems, which is why, like, before anyone even told me, before I even figured out that you were supposed to do that, I was already doing it. I was saving everything a certain way. And I had already known that in the future, I was going to take what I had and just make it this incredible thing. I knew that at some point, what I was making was going to mold into this thing that I could never even imagine. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. So, when this next album drops, it's just going to be an album. It's going to be a good album. It's going to be really fucking good. And it's old music, like from 2 or 3 years ago, but I brought it so up to date. It feels like to me, it feels like I've been a producer and an engineer, and I've just been working with this young upstart, trying to like get his name out there. Like, that's what it feels like. So that feels like some good music, cause like I was able to be like, wait a minute, these keys should go like this. I need to move these notes around. I need to make this work. And none of this would have even been possible without my teacher in this shit, you know? My boy Ike. None of this would have ever been possible in the way that it is right now without him. But I was able to do that. So I was looking at that, put me in the headspace to go like, wait a minute. There's more stuff. I have more stuff. There's a lot more stuff. Let me just keep digging. Let me keep digging. And I was on call with one of my homies, one of my friends, close friend, and she was just telling me like, no, she was showing me some of like my older shit, like some of my older music that I had sent to her. And I was like, when did I make that? When did I make this one? When was that? I'm like, can you send me this? And I'm like trying to get her to tell me like the dates of when I sent these, or like what they said on the file, so I could run back down through my list and like find the DAW file, so I could open it back up and just like breeze through some of it and be like, okay, let me work through this. Let me find what needs to be sorted out here. Like, maybe I could play live over it instead, or maybe I could bring it to somebody. And it's just like, after doing that, I had found stuff that I wasn't even really thinking about. And I was just like, whoa, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. Because, like, I believe people should hear this. I think that people should hear this music. And I was fucking right. I was fucking right. It's good shit. So I'm like re-engineering stuff. I'm like adding simple things. Some things closer to like my mid-20s, or like in my mid-20s, the stuff I was making then was like really good too. So I'm like, they're just little things that need to be changed here. And I started to realize that's when I started getting closer to just figuring it out, like off rip, like from the base of the music was already like good. The foundation of that music was already a lot stronger than the stuff I first started out with. Because I believe when I first started out, I think that my writing, my vocals were like already decent. They were decent. You know, they weren't shit, but I think just from not having an ear all the way, like not from like a ear for music, that's what was kind of holding me back. It was like this this correction didn't sound like it works for this, or like these notes aren't hitting your vocals right. When I found out how to do that shit, I'm like sliding shit up and down like, oh wait a minute. I'm on Google looking up what does G major go with? Oh, this goes with A. Okay, hold up. Oh, why do I got a sharp and a flat right next to each other? What? It's the same note. That's why it sounds so muddy. That's why this shit sound like ass. You know what I mean? Like, of course, it all makes sense. You know, when I'm like finding out like how you record, what you record into, what your signal flow looks like, I'm like, and I'm learning these things over a whole like years through like months. I want to say like a year and a half. I'm learning all this stuff. And I'm like, some of the stuff I kind of already knew, but I just wasn't applying it all the time. Because, like, I would think it in my head, like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But no one told me about it. No one told me that. I was just like, oh, that makes sense. Let me do it like that. But then, like, because no one told me that, and because I didn't know what I was looking at, it was just like, wait, what was I thinking that? You know what I mean? Like, wait, no, wait, this actually sounds crazy. And then I would do that to like every song and be like, that doesn't really work with this song, you know? And I would just constantly be trying to like do that based on like a song that did work out. And I would just try to be like finding what exactly worked out from that that's not getting to this. But when you make a song differently, you gotta do different shit to offset the shit you did during the process, you know? So learning that, learning all these different things and why you need to do X, Y, and Z and what happens when you do this, and just being in all these scenarios through learned experience, and then having someone tell me like straight up, like, this is what happens when you do this, or this is why you should do this, or this is what this means, really just made me understand, because I took that experience that I had and I applied it to like all those times where I did the right thing or when I fucked up. Now it's like, it's stuck in my memory so much easier when I was told. It like switch flipped. So I went back, did what I did, and I'm still like, even before the making of this video, I have some projects out right now where I've taken older music and I gave it a new context. I gave it a new meaning, like a new life. And listening back to what I've compounded, oh my fucking goodness, bro. It feels so crazy. It feels so crazy because it's good. It feels good. It feels like I'm taking from this obscure artist and just like who has like this long library and just making the most incredible shit with it, the most groovy shit with it. And I don't know, I do know. I'm very happy. I'm very happy I worked. I'm very happy I worked so hard on something I was so passionate about, because the fruits are here. The fruits are fucking here. And now I got like just good shit. I got good shit. And I submitted, I'm gonna just skip straight to the point. I've been yapping for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna skip straight to the point. Well, I guess I didn't skip to the point. You had to wait to get to this point. But I just submitted 5 projects to come out this year. 5 of them. 5 projects. I submitted 5 projects to come out this year. And I'm probably gonna do one more. Maybe. Probably gonna do one more. Don't want to say 2, Probably gonna do one more. Um, yes. I submitted 5 projects. I just finished shooting all the cover arts. I just finished editing them. I did all I needed to do. They're all pretty much engineered, produced. No, I won't say pretty much. They are. They're engineered, they're produced, they're done. They're just good projects. Really good projects. Stuff that's like, damn, this is good music, you know? Like, you're not missing. You know, there's probably some shit you wouldn't prefer to listen to, but you can't say it's not good. And I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy about that. And then even if you feel like it might be that way, I can still do the Kunai Chrome method all over it. I can still do it again. I can still do it again. And you know why? Because I put in the work. And I put out all these projects. And I got this infinite ass library. And I can take one of these songs once again. And I can alley-oop it to, that was a terrible alley-oop. I can alley-oop it to the next Kunai Chrome. And when I come back in the future, God forbid nothing happen, I come back in the future and I take that alley-oop and I slam dunk that bitch in, what? It's over. It's over. It's over. And I think it's, I built myself something nice here. I don't think too many people can do that, you know? And if they can do it, I think they wouldn't prefer to. I think too many people want to look cool. They want to look flawless. They want to look great, you know? That's their folly, not mine. That's their flaw, not mine. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that because I don't have to be perfect. I don't got to be flawless. But what I do know is I'm the shit. And I worked hard to be the shit. And I'm never not going to be the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, this has been Kunai Chrome Wave, signing out. Till next time.